when was the moment where you just turned pro as a coach, where you identified and had pride in the sense that I am a coach?
I don't know if there's any one single time. Um, Again, from a positive and negative standpoint, I always felt like I didn't belong. I always had an inferior complex when it came to if an athlete asked me a question that I didn't know, that bothered the crap out of me. It really just to my core. But I was humble enough to say I don't know, but I'm going to figure it out. And so I always just okay, figure it out, figure it out. I don't know if I was ever. I don't know if I am even today in 2025 with the amazing things that I've been blessed with. To this day, I don't. I could walk into any scenario and be like, God, I really don't belong here. Like this doesn't. I don't deserve this opportunity to work with whatever. Um, but I always ask myself, okay, so well then, idiot, get prepared. Like learn. Like let's figure this out. Um, there were a couple of moments at Tampa where there were a couple of big interviews where I would get mic'd up for some big networks that were showcasing the athletes. At that point, I was like, oh crap, this is serious. Like, this is kind of a big deal. Um, our first big fight with Tarver was a huge deal because I didn't grow up in the boxing world. I grew up with martial arts, but I never my first foray into that was the moment that we did the rematch for Roy Jones Tarver. And I watched the first one, and I grew up as a Roy Jones fan through the 90s. That was, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, that is a bad man. And I remember Tarver's agent calling me, and I didn't know anything about it, but it's Al Heyman. As I grew into the sport, Al Heyman is the man when it comes to entertainment. He is the who's who. He is the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain of all of celebrities. But I didn't know that. And so I remember when he had called and then he flew down and met me, and we sat there and talked, and he goes, okay, this is the scenario. He goes, after meeting, he goes, let me talk to my client. Let me talk to my client. Let me talk to my client. And after finally we sat there, and he goes, all right. He goes, if this is what we want to do, we need you to get Antonio Tarver ready to fight Roy Jones. And I remember sitting there like, what?
How
I
much
go,
time?
yeah. I mean, it was serious. And I was like, because I'm a Roy fan. And
Ah,
that's like a weird, in my mind, getting him ready, the whole time getting him ready for that fight, in my head, he's going to get knocked out. In my head, like, God, this is going to be terrible. This is going to be terrible. But it didn't stop me from trying to do a better job, make it the worst, take it a worse scenario, and maybe he's not going to get knocked out. Maybe he's just going to get beat up pretty bad. Okay, maybe he's not going to get beat up. Maybe he's going to go to a decision. So it was always trying to fight for a better position, fight for a better position. And I remember we do the whole camp. I mean, we do the whole prep work up to it, and then he goes, "Okay, we're going to fight camp. We're going to go to Vegas for 4 weeks." So we go to Vegas. We check into the hotel, and I remember getting him ready, and it's gut wrenching to take somebody from 230 to 175. Like that is a scary, scary moment for anybody. Anybody in wrestling understands that. But to take wrestling and then to say, because I made the mistake of saying, ha ha ha, what happens if he doesn't make weight? And they go, well, we'll probably get sued for $20 million. And I was just like, and so I remembered that last day, and we're creeping. It's like 185, and then it's like 182, and then it's like 180, and we're like right there. And I'm just like, and the last little bit is struggling to come off. And I remember just like, God, this is not gonna happen. And before the weigh-in, we've done all our due diligence, and we put him in a sweatsuit and we put him in the sauna, and I have him just doing some light step ups, some light jogging, and he looks dead. Like, I mean, from 230 all the way down to 170, and I'm sitting there like, please don't die. Like, don't die. And then finally he comes out. We have our own scale. We put the scale down, towel him off, and it says 175, but it's not an official scale. So we don't know. But I'm like, okay. So we go upstairs, and all I know is he's going to get on a scale. And if it says 175, the fight is on. If it doesn't, then they give you 2 hours, and then you can try to get more off. And if it doesn't, the fight's off. Then the belts, none of that, all of that is off. And so we go up there. Well, they're telling us where to go, and they go, okay, go to this ballroom. So they open the doors to the ballroom. There's probably 1,000 people in there, and there's a big stage up there, and I could see the scale, and I'm like, this is for the whole world to see. I mean, this weigh-in is televised. I've never, because in football you do your job, and then you're like, hey, good game, guys, go get it.
Yeah.
In any other sport, but in boxing, it's Tarver and then me. I mean, you're right there with him. And I remember walking up, and my heart is racing. I mean, it's just racing. And then there's like this they're like, oh, well, we're not ready yet, so we're going to do him last. And so then there's arguing, and I'm like, he's getting on the scale right now because I need to get him rehydrated. We gotta get going.